ஹாய் வியூவர்ஸ், என்னோடய வீடியோஸ் பிடிச்சிருந்தால் லைக் பண்ணுங்கள். இது வரைக்கும் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணாதுங்க சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள். ரைட் சைடில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்கள். நீங்கள் கொடுக்குற ஒவ்வொரு லைக்ஸும் நான் நிறைய வீடியோஸ் அப்லோட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு மோட்டிவேட்டாக இருக்குது. ஸோ லைக், ஷேர், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் அண்ட் கமெண்ட் மை வீடியோ. குட் மார்னிங் சில்ட்ரன்.
Good morning, ma'am.
Children, today we are going to watch a video about rural life and society of people during British rule.
Okay, ma'am.
Hi viewers, today our topic is Class 8, Term 1, Unit 3, Rural Life and Society of the People during the British rule. Let me start with the learning objectives of this chapter. To know the land revenue policy under the British rule. To understand the merits and demerits of land revenue policy. To know the agrarian crisis and the revolts. Introduction. In the pre-colonial period, our Indian economy was predominantly, that is mainly depend on agriculture. Agriculture was the primary occupation of the people, and even industries like textiles, sugar, oil were dependent on it. The British government introduced three major land revenue and tenurial system in India. Number 1, permanent settlement. Number 2, Mahalwari settlement. And the 3, Rayatwari system. The economic exploitation of the peasant led to the revolt in future. So because of these three land revenue settlement, our farmers were exploited by the British and thus finally led to the revolt in future. Land revenue policy under the British. First one, permanent settlement introduced by Lord Cornwallis in the year 1793. Second, Rayatwari system introduced by Thomas Munro in the year 1820. Mahalwari system introduced by Lord William Bentinck in the year 1822. Let us see in detail about these three settlements. First one, permanent settlement system of land revenue. When Robert Clive obtained the Diwani, that is Councillor of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa in 1765, he used the annual settlement of land revenue, that is once in a year. Then Warren Hastings changed it from annual to quinquennial, that is once in 5 years. Then again it changed to annual payment. During the time of Cornwallis, a 10 years decennial, that is once in 10 years, settlement was introduced in 1793 and it was known as the permanent settlement. So this permanent settlement were made in Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, Varanasi division of Uttar Pradesh and northern Karnataka, which covered nearly 19% of the total area of the British India. It was known by different names like Jamindari, Jagirdari, Malgujari and Bisvidari. Features of the permanent settlement. Here the Jamindars played an important role. They were the owners of the land and they paid the revenue to the East India Company regularly. So the Jamindars acted as an agent of the government for the collection of revenue from the cultivators. The Jamindars had to pay a fixed amount of revenue to the company. Out of 11, 10 parts of the share as revenue collected from the cultivator to be paid by the Jamindar to the government. The Jamindars would grant patta, that is return document, to the ryots. Ryot means farmers. The ryots became tenant since they were considered the tillers of the soil. All judicial powers were taken away from the Jamindars. See the diagram here. Jamindars acted as an intermediate between the British government and the peasant. Peasant means farmers. Let us see the merits of the system. Advantage. So under the system, they cleared the wastelands and destroyed all the forests, then made them as a cultivable lands. So the Jamindars became the owner of the land. Jamindars were made free from the responsibility of providing justice. They remained faithful and loyal to the British government. So this system gave a fixed and stable income for the British government. Demerits of this permanent settlement. The British government had no direct contact with the cultivators. So the rights of the cultivators were ignored and they were left at the mercy of the Jamindars. The peasant, the farmers were almost treated as a serfs. Serfs means slaves. So this system made the zamindars lethargic, very laziness, and luxurious. They led a comfortable life with the share of their income. So automatically, many conflicts between the zamindars and peasants arose in rural Bengal. The next revenue system was Rayatwari system. Rayatwari was introduced by Thomas Munro and Captain Reed in 1820. The major areas of the settlement included Madras, Bombay, parts of Assam, and Coorg provinces of British India. So in the system, there is no zamindars because the rights of the ownership was handed over to the peasant. The British government collected tax directly from the farmers. Initially, one half of the estimated produce was fixed as a rent. This assessment was reduced to one third of the produce by Thomas Munro. The revenue was based on the basis of the soil and the nature of the crop they produce. The rent paid by the farmers was periodically revised. So in the settlement, the position of the cultivators became more secure because they had a direct contract with the government. In fact, the government later claimed that the land revenue was a rent and not a tax. Salient features of the Rayatwari system. Revenue settlement was done directly with the rayats. Measurement of field and an estimate of produce was calculated. Out of the production, nearly 45 to 55 percentage was demanded by the government as the rent. Effects of the Rayatwari settlement. In most areas, the land revenue fixed was high. Even during seasons, the rayats were left with small amount. Under this system, the government exploited the farmers instead of zamindars. The next revenue policy was Mahalwari system. It was a modified version of Jamindari settlement introduced in the Ganga Valley, the northwest province, parts of central India and Punjab in 1822. Lord William Bentinck made changes in this Mahalwari system by the guidance of Robert Martin Byrd in 1833. Assessment of revenue was made on the basis of the produce of a mahal or village. All the proprietors of mahal were responsible for the payment of revenue. Initially, the state share was fixed two-thirds of the gross produce. Then Bentinck reduced to 50%. The village as a whole, through its headman or lambadar, was required to pay this revenue. This system was first adopted in Agra and Awadh, and later it was extended to other parts of United Provinces. Finally, the burden of all the taxation fell on the cultivators. Salient features of this Mahalwari settlement. The lambadar, that is the headman, acted as intermediaries between the government and the villagers. It was a village-wise assessment. One person could hold a number of villages. The village community was the owner of the village common land. The village land belonged to the village community. Effects of the Mahalwari settlement. The lambadar misused the revenue for their self-interest and enjoyed many privileges. This system brought no benefit to the cultivators. It was a modified version of the Jamindari system and benefited the upper classes in villages. Impact of the British land revenue system on the cultivators. A common feature of all the three settlements was the assessment and the maximized income from land. It resulted in increasing land sales and dispossession, that is, giving away the property to another. The peasants were overburdened with taxation. Due to the tax burden and famine, means scarcity, that is panjam, the people suffered in poverty and burdened with debts. Debts means kadan. They had to seek to the money lenders. So the money lenders became rich and acquired the land from the peasant. The jamindars, moneylenders and the lawyers exploited the poor farmers. The stability and continuity of the Indian villages was shaken. Cottage industries disappeared and the British imported many goods, so the peasant had no income. The old body of custom was replaced by new apparatus of law, courts, fees, lawyers and formal procedures. The British policy of land revenue system proved advantageous only to the government and to the high section of the society, at the cost of the cultivators, who were the rightful owners of their land and claimants of the larger share of the produce. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel for more videos. It will be useful for your competitive exam.